Hello, hello. We are excited to have you all here today. It's a beautiful sunny day in North Carolina, and we are 32 days away from Spring Market. So thank you for joining us here today. We are doing HPMKT 101, High Point Market 101, everything you need to know to get ready for Spring Market coming up April 26th through the 30th. We're going to jump in and have a fun hour here together. My name is Ashley Grigg. I am with the High Point Market Authority, and I have two other team members joining me today. You will not see Lindsay behind the scenes, but she's going to do a great job keeping us on track with the slides and all the other details that go on to keep me and Jessica on track as we're on camera. I also have Jessica, our director of operations, here joining us today, and guest experience. She will be coming on later with a lot of information about what you need to know for on-site resources, travel planning, etc. She's a wealth of information. So we're glad to have a great team here today to share the details with you. We have lots of logistics and tips for you. We're going to be going through a lot of the details, but as we go along, or even when we get to the end, if you have some questions that we have not touched on, we're going to leave some time for Q&A at the end. And so make sure that you use the Q&A feature. Feel free to go ahead and submit those. We'll be able to type in some answers while I'm talking. Jessica will be in Q&A. While Jessica's talking, I'll be in the Q&A, and then we'll also answer some live at the end. But just make sure you don't use the chat feature, use the Q&A feature, and we will get those addressed. And then, of course, at the end, we'll give you our contact information in case you need any additional questions answered. But we are here to make sure that you are ready for market. So first thing I want to do, though, is thank our sponsor. We do have Shuttle Furniture joining us today as our sponsor, and we're delighted to have them. If you are coming to Spring Market, make sure you put a stop at 315 Fred Alexander, which is their beautiful building. They have a whole family of brands within that space. It's a great showroom to be able to visit. You're going to see a little bit later from them. They have a lot of exciting events that they've scheduled for Spring Market. If you're riding the red line, if you don't know what that means, Jessica's going to tell you about that a little bit later. Shuttle Furniture is located at Red Line Stop 18. So that's an easy way to get right to their front door using our free shuttle services. Before we keep going, let me just pop some polls up here. Lindsay, if you'll put those on the screen, I'd love to learn a little bit more about who is joining us here today. So when that poll shows up, go ahead and answer that for us. We're just looking to know if you've previously attended High Point Market or if we are stock full of newbies here today. What company type are you? Are you a retail store, interior design firm? Who all the different company types are joining us here today? And then from where are you joining us? Put the location in there as question 4. And then also, of course, we're focusing a lot today on Spring Market planning. So have you finalized your Spring Market plans? Is that still in progress? Are you haven't gotten to it yet? Let us know. As you get through those questions, Lindsay, once you see that answering bar slow down, go ahead and pop those answers up on the screen for us to take a look. All right, let's see. So we do have a pretty good number of newbies, but then some folks who have attended recently. We see that a lot. You get here the first time at market and it wasn't what you were expecting, or you've obviously never been to a trade show like this. Usually it's in a convention center, and we're 13 city blocks. So it's good to see some folks here who've done it before, but want to learn a little bit more about how to do it better, or just some more tips and tricks. Glad to see we have some retailers and interior designers and home stagers and some other folks joining us here today, and from all across the US and some international guests. Welcome. We're glad to have you here. I'll also see that we have some folks, 17% of you all done on the travel planning. That's awesome. Good job. But for those of you who still have some travel planning to do, we for sure have some great tips and insights for you today. So thank you for taking that poll. We can go ahead and close that, Lindsay. Thank you. Let's also start with some fun facts when we go to the next slide here, just to help you kind of get a picture of what High Point Market is and how we're laid out. It is very large. I've already mentioned 13 city blocks is our market district here in the downtown area of High Point. The amount of showroom space that we have here at High Point Market, it's 201 football fields. So I know we might not have a lot of sports fanatics here, but if we did, if you all can visualize a football field, put 200 of those together and fill them with beautiful home furnishings, That's what you guys are about to experience here 32 days from now. It's 12 million square feet of showroom space. So you'll hear us mention it several times. Make sure you put on your walking shoes and be excited, be ready to experience a whole lot of furnishings and inspiration as you walk through the beautiful showrooms. Another fun fact here, when active, High Point Market, our transportation system, is actually the second largest in the state. It's a system that we spin up for spring market and then dismantle afterwards and don't spin it up again till fall market. But we want to make sure that getting around market and getting to your hotels and getting from your airport is as easy as possible for you. So we have an incredible complimentary transportation system here for you when you're here in High Point and all around. Jessica's going to talk a little bit more about that later, but it's very robust and we definitely encourage you to utilize it. I love this fact here, the construction occurring in the IHFC building alone, which is our largest building here at Market, but only one of 180 buildings. The construction in that building alone is equal to building 1,200 single family homes every year. So what they're doing in between markets, for those of you who have been here before and you've walked around IHFC, when you come back, it's good, that showroom, they're still going to be where they were maybe, but they're going to be totally different. They may have added a wall, moved a wall. You might have said, I know I walked down this hallway last time and this wall was not here. That's because we've got so much construction going on there. What they're doing is making sure that it is ready and it is fresh and it's new for you all as attendees every 6 months. So that's a really fun fact. We also are very conscious of our sustainability efforts here in High Point and throughout Market. We work very closely with the city of High Point in a lot of ways. And one great thing that they do is when all this furniture comes in, they come and pick up, of course, a lot of the materials for recycling. They actually are able to recycle over 500 tons of cardboard each market. And I have been out to the facility where they do that and they hand sort it. It's a wonderful thing they're doing, and we're thankful for the efforts there to make sure that that cardboard is taken care of responsibly. Let's jump into checklists next. If you're like me and you love a checklist, we have one for you on our website. You can scan that QR code and get there, or you can also just go to the plan your trip section of our website, which is highpointmarket.org. If you haven't visited our website, highpointmarket.org. We are going to go through this checklist today, but if you want to see the digital copy of it, you can get it right there on our website. The very first thing I need you to do as soon as this webinar is done today, if you haven't done it already, is make sure that you go ahead and sign in and get registered. One thing we like to do for our guests to make it, you can get into the showrooms even faster upon arrival here, is that we will mail your pass to you. Of course, that takes a minute to get it to you once we drop it in the mail. So that deadline, if you're here domestically in the US, we will mail passes up through April 11th. And if you are our international guests that are joining us here today, you need to register this week, because this Friday, March 28th, is the deadline for mailing passes internationally. Either way, I'd much prefer that you register now, you go ahead and get your pass in the mail, and that way when you get here to Market, you don't have to stand in a line, you don't have to seek out a registration lobby, you can go straight into your first showroom or your first event or whatever it is you wanted to do. So make sure you go ahead and register so we can get you your pass. With that, I am going to bring Jessica back on here. We're going to talk a little travel planning, and I'll hand it off to you.
Thank you, Ashley. Travel planning, world's largest home furnishings trade show. That means a lot of people. And so travel planning is really, really important to have a successful High Point Market. I thought I saw on the poll that 17% of you have already completed it, so congratulations. But if you've not completed it, registered or not, you can get a jump start on that today. And we're going to go over a few options. So option number one is going to be TravelQuest. TravelQuest is our official High Point Market concierge service. So we partner with TravelQuest to really provide a turnkey, hand-holding, great experience for our guests. You can use TravelQuest to book everything from your hotel, your airfare, transportation on the ground. They'll help you with restaurant recommendations, airport shuttle reservations, really everything you can need, TravelQuest is there to help with. Travel agent, you may think maybe there's a fee associated with that. There actually is not. TravelQuest is almost completely free with the exception of a small nominal fee for booking your airfare through them. However, if you book 3 nights or more, they will actually waive that fee. So what you get with that is not only somebody doing the travel arrangements for you, but somebody in your corner should something go wrong. You're busy traveling to market and lining up appointments and planning your schedule, which Ash is going to help you with here in a little bit. And so you really need to focus on that. And so if something goes wrong with your flight, hotel, etc., TravelQuest is there and ready to troubleshoot that for you. So we highly recommend TravelQuest. They have a dedicated team for High Point Market attendees. And this phone number and email is how to best get a hold of them. And they are just somebody who's going to make your trip here really just easy and a great experience. But not everybody wants a travel agent. Not everybody wants, some people want to shop around for really what works best for them. So if you would rather DIY, we have an option for that too. It's our hotel online booking tool. So if you go to our website, go to highpointmarket.org and you go to plan your trip. I strongly suggest familiarizing yourself with this section of the website. It has everything I'm going to go over today. But one of the options for hotels is our online booking tool. We actually service over 100 regional hotels with our free shuttle service. We're going to go over that shuttle here in a little bit, but we service hotels in Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point, and the surrounding area. So this hotel booking tool is actually through TravelQuest. All of the hotels that are linked here are ones that are serviced by that shuttle, so you don't have to worry about that. And because we partnered with TravelQuest to do this booking tool, this is a way for you to kind of take your time, browse our hotels, but still get that TravelQuest customer service at the end of your experience. So when you book a hotel through our booking tool, you are going to get a TravelQuest confirmation email. And if something goes wrong, you need support, etc., as you get closer to your trip while you're here on the ground at market, you're still going to have that TravelQuest customer service. So a great resource if you would rather kind of take your time and explore. Then we have our airport shuttles. So we do offer free airport shuttles. We actually service 3 different regional airports. On the map there, you can kind of see where High Point is. That's where High Point Market is located. And you can see in proximity Greensboro, Charlotte, and Raleigh. These are the 3 major airports that surround our market. And we do offer free airport shuttles to and from each day, all 3 airports. So the hours of operation are listed right there. Greensboro actually leaves every hour on the hour. So because that's only 30 minutes away from High Point, that schedule is very easy to use. That bus is very easy to use. The schedule is convenient. And you do not need reservations for that. However, you do need reservations because they're a farther distance away from Raleigh and Charlotte. They can be an hour to 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more depending on traffic. So you can make those shuttle reservations through our website. You can do so now up until market. You can actually make shuttle reservations up until 7 p.m. the day before. So if it is the day of or past 7 o'clock, then you do need to call our command center. You're going to see this phone number all over the Plan Your Trip page and all over market when you get on site, but it's 336-887-RIDE. That is our transportation command center. If it's a last minute reservation, you can certainly call them. But for now, you can make these on our website. The schedule you'll see will be on the left-hand side. You can pick a shuttle time that best fits your schedule. You can make reservations for everybody in your party. You'll get an email confirmation when you do this reservation. In addition to that, you will get a text message the day before asking you to cancel or confirm your ride. You do not have to respond to that text message. If you do not respond, we are assuming that means you are confirmed. So again, Raleigh and Charlotte reservations are required, and it's because of the distance. We need to make sure we're sending the right amount of buses so we get everybody from the airport to High Point in a timely manner and vice versa. So be sure to check that out. So schedule planning, hotels, airlines, and the airport shuttles, those are your big ticket travel planning items and really what you need to get out of the way before you can really focus on how you're going to spend your time here in High Point. We offer a plethora of different tools and resources to do that. And so we're going to bring Ashley back on and she's going to go over those in depth with you guys.
Thanks, Jessica. Appreciate that. Travel planning recap, always so important. So now we're going to transition. Now that you know how to plan your trip to get here, let's talk about once you're here. It'll be time to work on your schedule. I do encourage you to pre-plan that, not just save that for the night before or the day you get here. It is a large district, and so a few weeks out, start thinking about how you want to plan out your days, where you want to go, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that. There are 3 important elements that I encourage you to incorporate into a successful market trip. That would, of course, first be product. That's what you're here to source. That's what you're here to look at. That's why you want to be in the showrooms. We also have a lot of education, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that and how to sort through all those details there, but a ton of education here at Market and networking. The opportunity to network within our industry is every minute of every day that you're here at Market, there's an opportunity to be networking with somebody you might need to know for to move your business forward. And so make sure you're incorporating all 3 of those, product, networking, and education, into your schedule. That's going to give you a nice, well-rounded trip. So the first thing I want you to do when you start your schedule planning is to make sure that you're signed up for a MyMarket account. This is different than your registration login, and you can get to it both from our website. Also, if you download the app, you're going to be asked to create a MyMarket account or log in if you already have one. But it is separate from registration, so it's a separate login. That's just a note. So you can see, you're welcome to set it as the same password, but it is going to be 2 separate setups that you need to do. But create that account, and what that's going to allow you to do is really make a personalized plan specific to you of the showrooms you want to visit, the seminars and other events that you want to attend. It's going to create that list for you as you're going through our website, or you're going through on your phone and you're hitting the star in our app for an exhibitor that you want to see, or a showroom, an event that you want to attend. That's going to create that list for you. And then when you're walking around Market, you just pull it up in the app or on your tablet, and boom, it's right there for you. And there's a lot of great tools in there. So definitely make sure that you get that MyMarket account. Go ahead and go to the next slide for me, Lindsay. If you, first thing you're going to want to do, of course, focus on product being here at Market, is decide which showrooms you want to visit. We have almost 2,000 exhibitors here at Market, so there's a lot of opportunity to see product, and you're not going to be able to get to all the showrooms while you're here for your first market, or even maybe within 2 markets, but we want to make sure that you're getting into the right showrooms. And so we have a pretty robust section of our website called our exhibitor directory. If you go there and then you use these filters that we have, that's going to help you to dwindle down to the various things that would be relevant to you. So it might be a category or a price point. You might want to say, well, I know I'm going to visit this place in the Suites in Market Square, where another area of interest in the salon or inner hall or things like that. You might want to focus on country of origin or made in USA or something like that. All of these are filters that are available. We even have a designer friendly filter, container only, all of that's in there. So make sure you're utilizing these filters, playing around, and that'll help you get down to the exhibitors that you want to see. Once those results come in, then you can click into their profile, and you can see here we've got a snapshot on the screen of what a profile looks like. Here's this one's for Cheryl Furniture Company, our sponsor for today. You can see on the left side, we've got their location at Market. We've got what shuttle stop they're at, so you can use the transportation to get there. We're going to do some social media links. If they've got a press kit, that's more for our editorial attendees, but that is there as well. And then you see under Cheryl Furniture Company, we have several tabs. So they have a description tab. You're also going to be able to see linked profiles. So Cheryl is a family of brands. So the other profiles that are going to be connected to Cheryl Furniture Company, theirs are going to be listed there. You can see some of their product imagery if they've uploaded that. And then if they have events, there's going to be a tab there for that. And then you can see that star. If you look over to the right side, I don't know if you can see the gray part next to the star, but it says add to my market. That's what you're going to check. That's what you're going to select in order to add Sherrill Furniture Company to your MyMarket plan so that you know that you want to visit them. So this is a great way for you to figure out which showrooms you want to see. You can also be watching our news. We put out an e-news on a regular basis. We're sending emails to the folks who have signed up for our e-newsletter or have registered for Market. Trade publications are putting out a lot of press releases right now about upcoming launches and new things happening here at Market. Of course, social media, if you're following other people who attend High Point or the brands that exhibit here, a lot of good market information coming out. I know I'm getting every day at this point, it feels like I'm getting an email from a brand that says, here's what we have coming up at High Point, or here's a new product we're launching. Make sure to pay attention to those. That's going to help you know which showrooms you want to visit. The next thing you're going to want to know once you find out what to see is, oh, sorry, I almost skipped one. So I mentioned product imagery on our website. I know that that's really important for you all to see what are some of the new products coming to market. This is now live on our website. We were able to launch this a few weeks out from every market. We have new product picks, so a whole section of our website focusing on new product coming. Then we also have a section of our website called product and showroom news. And so this is news style recap. You can read these quick little blurbs. It could be anything from this is a collection that a brand is launching here at Market to we've totally redone our showroom and expanded it an additional 5,000 square feet. So make sure you're reading through those. That actually might highlight some showrooms that you want to visit as well. You can see from the top there, if you want to get to that on our website, you're going to go inspiration and then down to the products and trends. You can see new product picks and product and showroom news. So, didn't want to skip over that one. Now, once you've decided what showrooms you want to visit, then you can also begin to decide what events you want to visit. So what to attend. We also have a pretty robust event calendar on our website with lots of filters. And so you can see an example of that on the right side of the screen here. You can select by day, you can select by educational, and even within educational, maybe you specifically need to get some CEUs coming up. You can dwindle down to just the ones that are going to get you CE credits. If you wanted to do social, let's say, 4:30, you've just finished up in a showroom and you know that you're in the Hamilton Wren district or neighborhood, and you want to know what social events are starting at 5 p.m. So you can select all of those filters and dwindle it down to the events that are close to you or coming up. And then same thing, once you see an event, you can hit that star and add it to your MyMarket plan. So make sure you go follow that or go try that out on our website. It's also available in the app as well. Let me just highlight some featured events coming up for this spring market. We're very excited about them. We will have 2 keynote series events for April. This first one is on Saturday, April 26th at 3 p.m. Both of these keynotes events happen in the High Point Theater. So when you get to the transportation terminal, which is where all of the shuttles start and stop, they're all going to drop you off right in the terminal. When you get there, you just look to the left of the main information booth in there, and you're going to see the entrance into the theater. That's where you're going to be able to access this great event that we're doing in partnership with Veloy. You can see a lot of great names there. We've got Jeremiah Brandt, Naz Nazawa, Mikkel Welch, Brian Paquette, and Ashley Montgomery. And of course, a favorite moderator here in High Point, we have Dennis Scully with Business of Home joining us today. Also on Sunday, we have another keynote event happening. We're bringing in Shark Tank's Damon John. And of course, he's also the founder of the apparel line FUBU. And so we're bringing in some other industry greats, Patty Carpenter and Jay Enemize, to talk about fashion and interiors and leveraging brand identity. This is going to be a great keynote on Sunday at 3 p.m. that we're doing in partnership with our Diversity Advocacy Alliance. So make sure you attend one or both of those. Those are completely free. You just need your market pass to attend. Excuse me. We also like to have fun here at Market. And so on Saturday and Sunday evenings, we have outdoor concerts. We hope you'll join us. This is right next to the transportation terminal. And in between IHFC and Showplace, it's an outdoor area. You'll see the stage, you'll see the tents. You can't miss it. We have concerts at Center Stage. On Saturday night, we've got Sister Sledge coming, and on Sunday night, we've got Gabby Barrett. So if you're available and not attending any of the other great events happening in the showroom, we'd love to have you join us for the concerts that evening with your market pass. Those are also completely free. Let's talk about tours for a minute. There are so many great tours happening at Market. Two that I want to highlight real fast. Yeah, we have hotspot tours. These happen on several different days during Market, and these are product category specific. So if you have a buyer pass and you see one of the product categories that you want to do on these tours, then you can RSVP on our website and join us. We do several of these focusing on different product categories that are available here at Market. If you are one of our new buyers that are here joining us today, the Insiders Tour, if you've not done one of those, I highly recommend that you join us for one of these. It does take some time out of your calendar, but it is an incredible way to learn from a market veteran how to work Market. High Point is incredibly unique in terms of its layout. It is large, but we want you to feel comfortable and understand the various intricacies of it and how to do it. This will teach you how to do that. So on Friday, April 25th, we offer an afternoon tour. It kicks off around lunchtime and goes all the way till 6 p.m., getting you into some of the showrooms, seeing some events. You get to learn from those tour guides. And then on Saturday, April 26th, we offer full day insiders tours. And so if you are completely new to Market, or if you haven't attended Market within the last 2 years, or for those of you who said that they had attended within the last 2 years, if you've only been to Market once and you realized, I need a little bit more help understanding the layout and this market district, you're still eligible to attend an insider's tour as long as you haven't done an insider's tour yet. So definitely get on the website, go to the tour section of our site and sign up for the insider's tour. If you can make the date and time work, it is well worth it, and also a great networking opportunity. We do still have some room on the insider's tour, but that deadline's coming up pretty quick. We will either hit capacity or we have to take down that application form by April 16th. So go ahead and get that filled out. There's also, as you're going through the event calendar, lots of other tours that are offered. It's not just the tours that we do. Some of the buildings offer tours of their specific spaces. We have several industry associations that like to offer tours. You're going to find all that when you search through the event calendar. Another event area that I encourage you to attend is the Point. Jessica will talk about that from an on-site resource perspective here in just a minute. But in terms of educational programming, the Point is a great place to stop, and make sure you check out the event calendar. We offer roundtables every day from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday through Tuesday. And then we actually kick off on Friday at 2 p.m. with a High Point Market 101. So if you wanted to hear from some other folks, not just me and Jessica, about how to do Market, you can definitely come and join us at the Point on Friday at 2 p.m. and they will talk about their tips and their insights for learning to work Market. That's always a great opportunity right when you get here into High Point. So definitely check out the Point. Some other things that you can do, and I mentioned this earlier, is make sure you're following us on social. Here's all of our accounts that we are actively putting market information out there. We've got our style spotters talking about product. We have event announcements. We've got a lot of great tips and insights for you. Make sure you're following us on social. And of course, if you don't see something on there, you can check out our website, or you can always DM us and we will happily answer your questions. Also, it helps on Instagram if you're search that hashtag HPMKT. A lot of folks know how to use that, and so you'll see other people within the industry posting and using that hashtag to give you market information. So now that you know what your schedule is going to look like, let me bring Jessica back up here and we're going to talk about some more on-site resources to help you out.
Thanks, Ashley. You guys have been blowing up the Q&A. I love it. I'm going to go over some of those logistical questions that you've been asking. I've tried to answer all of those, but kind of set a sneak peek for more details to come. So we're going to go over all of those things now. Again, world's largest home furnishings market means a lot of on-site resources, and even more transportation options to get you guys around. So we're going to go over all of those now. So I briefly mentioned when I talked about TravelQuest and the hotel booking tool that the hotels that are sourced there that TravelQuest is going to try to get you to book with, or that are on that online booking tool, are ones that are serviced by our free hotel shuttle. So again, we service nearly 100 regional hotels, High Point, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, and more. These are free, and you can find that schedule on our website. We're also going to talk about the map and transportation guide here in a little bit. You can find that complete comprehensive schedule within that as well. Now that you've kind of planned your market out a little bit, you've used the MyMarket tool to schedule some events. Maybe you have picked some exhibitors and you've scheduled some meetings with them. You're going to look at this hotel shuttle schedule, see where you're booked, and see which runs, what your schedule is for the day. So somebody said in the comments they're at the Hotel Denham. That is one of our Winston-Salem hotels, and that is on a hotel shuttle route. So you're going to want to go to the website, look up that. You're going to see that there are 3 runs every single morning during market. So 3 different options to get you from your hotel to High Point Market for free. And then there are 3 runs in the evening to get you back to that hotel. So again, completely complimentary. One person did ask, can I get straight from the airport to my hotel? The answer to that is no. So if you're going to get from the airport, if you're arriving from the airport, that airport shuttle is going to take you to High Point Market, where you can maybe check your bag at luggage check, shop around for a little bit, and then go on a hotel shuttle to get to your hotel. If you do want airport transportation straight to your hotel, you would have to do an Uber or ride share or taxi of some kind. So yeah, hotel shuttle schedule, 3 runs, no reservation required for these shuttles. You just need to know that shuttle schedule. Every hotel will also have that hotel shuttle schedule posted in their lobby as well. Park and ride. So maybe you are regional, maybe you drove in, or maybe you decided your schedule is a little too hectic for a free shuttle. You need something that's a little bit more on demand and you rented a car. We have plenty of parking for market guests at our park and ride location. So that GPS address is right there. You're going to find this on the website as well. And there's going to be plenty of information as well in the need to know before you go emails that we send out. But we have more spaces than we could ever need at this park and ride location. A lot of people are going to ask, what about parking that's closer to the downtown? It's first come, first serve. It's gone pretty early in the morning rather than send you driving around downtown for a space that may or may not exist. Park and ride is really the way to go. You're going to park right away. You're going to catch a shuttle and it's going to drop you off in the transportation terminal. So really in the heart of everything. If you need accessible parking, that's available at this park and ride location. This lot is paved and you can call that number 336-887-RIDE. Again, you're going to hear me mention that a lot. To have a handicap accessible vehicle dispatched to you. So this is a great opportunity for accessible parking as well. If you are going to use the park and ride shuttle, I had one question in the comments already that asked how early they should plan to arrive at park and ride, which was a great question. I would say at least 15 minutes early if to get to the terminal. So if you have an appointment that you're trying to get to, you may want to get there 30 minutes early. Just because you park, the shuttle has to come around. If it just left, you may have to be waiting up to 10 minutes for the next shuttle. And then of course, traffic, hopefully there's no accidents or anything like that. But we can't control that. So definitely plan to arrive at park and ride at least 15 minutes early. Downtown showroom shuttles. So you got from your hotel, your airport, park and ride. Now you have all these appointments. You saved all these exhibitors and events in your MyMarket plan, and you need to get around to them. Ashley mentioned our scale. We're 13 city blocks, 180 buildings. So we have so much here to offer at High Point Market, but that can be hard to get around. So we do offer our downtown transit system that we call our downtown showroom shuttle. It's our red line and our green line. So from the picture here, you can see that the red line runs north of the downtown and the green line runs south of the downtown. There's exactly 29 shuttle stops that you can also see portrayed there. And This shuttle is really designed to get you to any showroom and an event that you could possibly have in the downtown. So all of these shuttle stops have a QR code on them that tells you where the bus is, tells you what stops, what showrooms are near you. Great resource for getting around. And then our Go Anywhere shuttle. So I've listed a lot of shuttles, all of them again, completely free. We have our Go Anywhere shuttle that gets you to all the places in between. So if you are looking to go somewhere that is not already serviced by an existing shuttle, and it's within a 6 mile radius of the transportation terminal, you can use our Go Anywhere service to get there. So what that means is this shuttle will not take you to hotels. This shuttle will not take you to the airport. And this shuttle generally will not take you to a showroom. That kind of depends on the case, but we have staff that can help you determine that. But if you need to go to Walgreens, if you need to go to a local restaurant just to grab something to eat and then come back to market, things like that, this shuttle is a great option. You can catch one several different ways. So if you're in that transportation terminal, there's A1, or if you're by shuttle stop 14, you'll see a tent that's labeled Go Anywhere. Those are two dispatch locations that you can just walk up to and talk to staff and get a shuttle. You could also call from anywhere in the market district or within a 6 mile radius outside of the market district, our 336-887-RIDE phone number and have a shuttle reserved for you. What they'll do is take your cell phone number and you'll get a text confirmation code and it'll tell you when the shuttle is 2 minutes out, when the shuttle is outside waiting for you, and if it can't find you, etc. So it's going to communicate with you, similar to an Uber experience without the app. But yes, 6 mile radius of the transportation terminal, this is definitely a great transportation option. A lay of the land. I said 13 city blocks, 180 buildings. What does that look like? It looks like this. The entire High Point downtown is essentially the showroom district. And there's so many different options, but it can be a little bit overwhelming if it's your first time. Luckily, you guys have one up on everybody because you watched Market 101's webinar. But we're just going to go over a little bit of what the map is, some of the ins and outs, and some of the important things to note here. So first thing I'll go over is the color coding. You'll notice that Market is broken up into colorful blocks. What are those? That's what we call our market neighborhoods. So Ashley briefly mentioned this when she talked about the filters that you can use for the exhibitors and the events. The market neighborhoods are our way of trying to break up market into chunks so it's easier for you all to navigate. So you may be in the Hamilton Ren North neighborhood and you had an appointment, you just left, you have 2 hours before your next appointment. So you want to shop around. What exhibitors with these filters are near me? What events are in this neighborhood? What food is within walking distance of me? You can use our website and all those filters to do that. So you can really see what areas. Maybe you want to tackle one area one day and another area the next. It's completely up to you. So these neighborhoods are kind of there to benefit you all and to help you break this into some manageable chunks. The first most important landmark that I want to point out is our transportation terminal. Thank you, Lindsay with the mouse is going to be circling as I kind of talk. All of those free shuttles that I mentioned, all of them drop you off in that transportation terminal. So it's a very important location. You'll hear us reference it a ton in our promotional materials. So that is something that you will become very quickly familiar with once you arrive here at Market. We have an information booth in there, lots of resources, all of that good stuff. The next thing I'll mention right outside that transportation terminal is registration locations. So you'll notice on this map that there's little badge icons in several different areas throughout Market. These are our registration lobbies. With a market this big, it's hard to dictate where you're going to start your day. And so we have several locations spread out throughout, so it's the most convenient for you. Yes, there's 2 of them right outside that transportation terminal, but maybe you got dropped off in front of another showroom and you need a badge. We have a few different options for you, so that's definitely important to look at. I want to highlight the point. So the point, Ashley mentioned it already. I'm going to go over it more in depth, but that's right outside the transportation terminal. Once you're in the terminal and you look to the left, depending on which way you're facing, I guess, you're going to see the point there in the middle of the road. We actually close Commerce Avenue for our market transportation, and we put the point in the pedestrian side of the street. So it is right there. Then I know we have a few international buyers on the call today. We do have our International Buyer Center. So in that transportation terminal, you're going to see IHFC, and then you're going to see the High Point Theater right next to it. The High Point Theater is the home to our International Buyer Center. If you're an international, you do have to register here, pick up your pass. But we also offer free lunch and breakfast for you in this space. We offer money exchange, prayer services. Travel Quest Inc., our official High Point Market concierge, actually has a satellite office here during market. So if you are talking to Lee Allen about your travel woes during market, chances are he's on site and potentially can have to meet with you on site and help troubleshoot. So great space to know about. On the top floor of that is our media link. So anywhere we send members of the press to get their badges, and where we might find exhibitor press kits and things of that nature. Our scooter rental. So scooter, if you have any mobility issues, and you used our park and ride for accessibility parking, now you're dropped off in the terminal and you need a mobility scooter. You can rent one at that counter. You can rent one in advance right now via the phone number on our website. So make sure to check that out. We strongly recommend reservations ahead of time. But if something happens, maybe more last minute, you didn't plan for it, you need that, you can walk up to that counter and request service as well. Then we also have, you'll see throughout the map, several eyes. These are our information booths. So a lot of buildings have info booths within their lobbies. Any info booth that's outside of a building is staffed and trained by the High Point Market Authority. And so they have a lot of overall market knowledge. At any of these info booths, you can pick up one of these maps that we're going over right now. This map has everything you would need to know about market on the ground, but it has also all of the transportation information I've gone over. So it has that hotel shuttle schedule, the 336-887 ride phone number, everything. So when you first get here, I suggest going straight to that info booth and at least grabbing a map and kind of getting yourself oriented on where your next destination is. You see the red line and green line clearly on this map. And then I also just want to point out Market Medical. Market Medical is right outside the transportation terminal. It is we work closely with Guilford County Emergency Management to position this and staff it right throughout market. So if you have any minor medical needs, you have somewhere to go. If you are having a heart attack, please call 911. But if it is anything less than that, you're having allergies, you have a headache, you have, you've been a little sick this market, you can stop by that market medical unit and they can treat you. We have registered nurses in the space. They can direct you to a local urgent care if needed. They can write you a prescription and send that to a local pharmacy, all completely for free. So be sure to stop by if you need Band-Aids for blisters, etc. They have that there at the Market Medical. And then the last thing I'll note is that those info booths that I mentioned previously, they all also do have chargers, so portable chargers that any guest can take and walk around market with for free. We just ask that you return them to the info booth at the end of the day, but that can be a lifesaver when you're using the app all day to navigate market, and so your phone battery is a little low. So be sure to stop at any of those info booths if you need a quick charge or you need to take it throughout Market District. I know that's a lot. Those market info booths, like I said, have trained staff that know this map in and out. So if you have any questions while you're here, please stop by. They're ready to help and excited to help. The point. So Lindsay pointed to that on the map. Ashley has covered this a little bit already, but we do have daily panels in this space. This is a pop-up that we put in the closed street. It's designed beautifully. It's a great place to kind of escape market, get a charge on your phone, pull out your laptop, catch up on a few emails. But we also have some amazing educational opportunities here as well. So be sure to check out the event schedule on our website. Ashley mentioned the Market 101 panel, which is on Friday at 2 p.m. So this only with a industry spin on it. We organize a trade show. It's hard for us to give insight on shopping for product because that is not what we do for a living. So if you're interested to hear kind of the same stuff, but from an industry professional who shops for a product, who knows market from that point of view, this is a great panel to go to. And there's lots of great networking with other newbies after, or even more seasoned market goers. So definitely stop by. Hours of operation are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. Blooming Board, which is a local sandwich and charcuterie shop, sells lunch out of this space daily as well. So that's a great lunch option. And then we also have market advisor assistants here. An info booth is an amazing resource, and I encourage you to stop there anytime. But sometimes when you're confused, you just need a little bit more help, and an info booth can be a little bit more fast paced. There might be a line of people waiting to get their questions answered, and you really need to sit down and look at that map, open the app, and ask some questions and get a little bit more one-on-one attention. That is what the point is for. So we send all of our new buyers to the point, or even seasoned buyers who need a little extra help, maybe want to learn something new. This is a great place for trained market advisors to sit down with you and go over your plan and point you in the right direction. They obviously can't shop for you, so they can't make strong recommendations, but they can help you use that filter to find out what's near you. There's so many filters to utilize, and they can at least help you write those things down, make a MyMarket account, all of that good stuff. So strongly suggest going to the point, especially on your first day. If you want to get there as early as possible, so that you have a good experience the rest of your time in High Point. Market at Market. So we're so excited about Market at Market. This is the first one ever that we're going to do. Center stage, which is right outside the transportation terminal. When you get off whatever shuttle you're riding, you're going to see the parking lot right outside of Showplace with a bunch of tents. This is where we have those nightly concerts that's Ashley already mentioned. We are going to have a Market at Market activation there. And so what this is local vendors, local to High Point, that are not home furnishings related, are doing some pop-ups in this area. You can get everything from shoes. Maybe you wore the wrong pair of shoes and you really need to change your shoes. You can get those here. We have Drip IV bar. So if you are looking for a little bit of a pick-me-up, some energy, feeling a little under the weather, you can get an IV treatment to give you a little more energy at Market. We have a cigar lounge that's going to be there. What else? Just so many great vendors, baked goods. Oh, our High Point Market boutique. So if you want High Point Market branded apparel, you'll be able to find that as Market at Market as well. So this is a great stop. Center stage is open for lunch. So there's tons of food trucks around. You'll be able to get food trucks and eat within center stage. And then during lunchtime, you can kind of shop these vendors for a really cool kind of gift shop experience. There will be food trucks around center stage and at center stage. And this Market at Market activation will be open Saturday through Monday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So we strongly suggest you stop by. We're going to do like a little sip and shop event. There's going to be an ice cream social event. So lots of opportunities for you to stop in and check out some cool local vendors. High Point Market merch. We are one of those vendors I mentioned. This is some of we sell hoodies, hats, t-shirts, all of this kind of High Point Market memorabilia. So we love these. These are so much fun. It's a limited assortment. We will not always have these in stock. So you do want to make sure that you get yours while supplies last. So definitely stop by. High Point Market app. So I know while Ashley was talking, I got several questions about the app. You made your MyMarket plan. Ashley mentioned that. That login that you use to make the MyMarket planning tool, which is not the same as when you register, but it's the unique one that you made up when you made your MyMarket account. It's going to be the same login that you use on the app. So if you use the desktop MyMarket feature to plan, save things, etc., you're going to log in on the app when you're on site, and everything that you saved is going to be right there in your hand. One person did ask, do you suggest planning on the app versus the desktop? I personally like the desktop for doing the bulk of the planning, and then I leave the app for exploring, but it's completely up to you and what your comfort level is. We've done a lot of work to make the user experience on both platforms great and seamless. So it really is just up to your preference, what you prefer to do. But everything that is on the website is on the app in some way, shape, or form. You can use all the same filters for the exhibitors. You can use all the same filters for the events. The only feature that's not on the website that is in the app is the navigation tool. So if you're in one showroom and you need walking instructions to the next, you can click navigate. It's going to open up Google Maps on your phone and give you those walking directions. Same thing with events. The newsfeed feature is one that was new last market that we're super excited about. It's done really well. But those new product picks and showroom news that Ashley told you to browse, you can find those here in the app as well. So definitely leave time for exploring. You're going to have your plan, but you're going to see things in the app that catch your eye. You're going to want to save those. There's the ability to take notes in the app. So if you're seeing things you love at a particular showroom, you can take notes on that. You can share with your team, all sorts of great stuff. So it's available on Apple and Google, Android, so both platforms. Strongly recommend downloading it before market just to familiarize yourself with it. And of course, if you need any help, if you have any issues, or, I mentioned that we're trade show organizers. I'll never have the perspective that you have 100%. If you have app suggestions, stop by the point. We definitely want to hear from you. Those market advisors are trained to help you with the point, but if you have any feedback about the app as well, we definitely want to hear that. Food at market. So one of our most popular, most frequently asked questions is where can I get something to eat? And the answer to that is tons of different places. So you're going to see this QR code throughout some of our market promotional materials. It's going to be on that map and transportation guide. But there are tons of food options in and around market. So if you scan that QR code, it's going to take you to our food at market dining page. And what you're going to see is a plethora of different ways to filter and organize what you're looking for. So you can sort by food trucks, you can sort by market eats, which means in the market district. So that could mean a food truck, that could mean a food court inside of a building, etc. You can sort by neighborhood. You could go by local eats. So if you're looking for restaurants in High Point that are outside of the market district but close by, if you're looking for restaurants near your Greensboro hotel, if you're looking for restaurants by your Winston hotel, you can kind of sort by that. And there's also specialty diet. So if you're gluten-free, dairy-free, etc., you can sort by and see what food vendors are around that have those kinds of options. So this is a great resource to use if you're looking for something to eat. That will be available and updated on our website April 4th. Insider tips. I mentioned that, the designer and retailer buyer perspective is invaluable. So we have some of those tips that Ashley's going to go over with us now.
And thanks. Up there. Now I'm off mute. Thanks, Jessica. I appreciate that. And thanks to all of you who've been so active in the Q&A. While I'm going over these tips, go ahead and put any last minute questions that you may have in there. We've been able to answer a lot of them, but we want to make sure we get the other questions that may still be lingering out there. So while you put those in there, let me just go over some tips from those who have been there, done that. I reached out to some of my longtime market friends and just said, if you were talking to a room full of people new to High Point or still trying to figure High Point out, what would be your tips? So Kelly Collier-Clark, she joined me here and said that she has her top 3 must. She says, make sure you get the app, make sure you wear comfortable shoes, and make sure that you create an agenda ahead of time. So I didn't give her that script. It's exactly what we've been telling you here today. But listen to Kelly. She's certainly done it before and had to learn. Those are the top 3 priorities for her. Stacy Garcia also gives her insider's tips. Again, with the shoes, wear sneakers. There's so many cool sneakers out today. It doesn't matter, just as long as your feet are comfortable. That's what we want, so that you can make sure that you get to all the showrooms that you have the energy to get to. But she also, I like that she says, don't schedule every minute of your trip. Market is huge. We've already established that. There is a lot of ground to cover, and we want you to plan ahead for that, but leave some opportunity to get around and to explore a little bit. Let's go to the next slide. We have Cheryl Luckett from Dwell by Cheryl. She says she really asks you, encourages you to think about what do you need to get out of market? I mentioned those 3 important elements earlier, that it's product, it's networking, and it's education. She says, what of those things do you need to get out of market? And that's how you're going to schedule your trip. That's what you're going to make sure to prioritize, because you can't do it all. So I appreciate that personalization focus from Cheryl. Rachel Moriarty with Rachel Moriarty Interiors says, don't be super rigid with your schedule when attending market. She loves to leave a little room for serendipity. I think we all need that in our life, right? But she's absolutely right that there are some great showrooms right on the outskirts of market. There's new buildings. There's always new exhibitors here in various places of market. Make sure that you leave room to explore, and we appreciate Rachel sharing that. One more slide for you here from Jeannie Chung, who has been doing market for a long time now. She says, take lots of pictures, but you want to be, of course, remember to organize your pictures. And so this is a great tip for her. I see a lot of people doing it now. Right before you walk into the showroom, snap a picture of the sign. And that way, all those pictures that you take after that sign is going to be related to to that showroom name, and then bookend it. So when you walk out of that showroom, take a picture again. Now you know that every picture that you took within that was inside that one showroom. We have a lot of people that reach out to us after market and say, I got this picture. I love this product. I want to order it, but I forget what showroom I got it in. And so we do some sleuthing. Sometimes we can help you figure it out. We might recognize the showroom, or we've looked before in the mirror, the reflection in a mirror, and been able to see a showroom name and be able to say, okay, they're across the hall from them. So, but it's just easier if you just go ahead and take a picture of the showroom sign, so we don't have to do that. Still, great tip there from Jeannie. She also recommends using the Notes app. We've also now incorporated some more features to do notes within the MyMarket app. So that's a great way to keep it all together. And then Elizabeth Scruggs, she says that one thing she had to learn the hard way was to schedule by neighborhood. And you saw that map layout that Jessica shared a few minutes ago. Make sure that you don't have what we call ping pong syndrome. Make sure you're not, don't shop by category. We're not categorically laid out here at Market. Make sure that you're shopping by that neighborhood or by that building or places that are close to each other, just to be really more efficient. So I'm going to go to this part of Market this morning, and then we'll be on hop on the red line, and we're going to do this other part of market in the afternoon. That's the best way to efficiently shop this market district. So with that, let's take a pause before we get into Q&A. We do have a video from Cheryl, today's sponsor. So Lindsay, go ahead and roll that video for us. Awesome. Thank you again to Cheryl Furniture and make sure you tune in to get their all access pass. They had some great events there. You can also find those within their exhibitor profile and on our event calendar as well. I did peek at Q&A while that video was going on, and it looks like we've been able to answer all of the questions, which is awesome. So thank you all for putting those in there. If you want to go ahead and go to the next slide, Lindsay, you can see there's plenty of ways that you can get in touch with us. You're welcome to give us a call. We do have a chat bot, so if you just want to text a quick question, you can send it to Carolina at this number there. You can also feel free to shoot us an email, info@highpointmarket.org. Before we get to the market dates, let's put up another poll. We asked you this question when you registered for this webinar: is how prepared do you feel to work market? I'd love to put up that poll and see if today has been helpful for you. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how prepared, now that you've got all this information in the last hour, how prepared do you feel to work High Point Market? 1 being nope, totally unprepared, not feeling it, or 5 that you are confident, you feel you've got this, no problem. So go ahead and put your answer in there, and then Lindsay, if you'll just pop that answer up on the screen, I'd love to take a look.
While they're answering that, Ashley, I did have one question that I wanted to see if you had any insight on, about if we find it difficult to find e-commerce vendors. We don't have that filter on the website, so my inclination is that it is not difficult. But I wanted to see if you had anything to add to that.
I have not heard anyone specifically say that it was difficult to find, but what I find the best resource there for is to ask around to your industry friends, is to put that out there. If you're part of I've seen several Facebook chat groups for interior designers, or if you're an ASID or an IDS member, you can throw that out to those groups. Ask around to those folks who have been to market here before and see if they have any great resources, or even just find those other retail stores or designers who do have e-commerce sites and see which brands they're selling on there. That would be a great way to do that as well. But I don't think it's difficult to find. That might be a good filter for us to add.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you, Lindsay, for popping that up here. It looks like well, a lot of people have inched up towards 4 and 5 being confidently prepared to work market, and that's exactly what we want to see. So please reach out if you have any additional questions. If you don't have the spring market dates on your calendar yet, then please be sure to add those. That's coming up soon. Remember, only 32 days away, April 26th through the 30th. And then also go ahead and mark your calendar for fall market. We'd love to have you back October 25th through the 29th. Jessica, any closing remarks from you?
I don't think so. Please, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here, all the time to help. So.
We'll see you all in a few weeks. Take care. Bye-bye.